Welcome, and thank you for your interest in CEP, EVP, and PSP certification. This tutorial will help you to complete the application in our new certification module. From our website, you can simply find many ways to apply for certification. From our main page that explains a little bit about what type of certifications we offer, there's many buttons that say apply now. If you need to learn a little bit more about them, you can click on the specific name and it will tell you about that particular certification, and they all have an apply now button. So once you've settled on what type of certification you would like to pursue, you simply would find a way to find a button that will allow you to apply now. Once you select the Apply Now button, you will be asked to log into your AACE profile in our new AMS system. This is what your overall login should look like, or very similar to it. Of course, this is still in the development modules, so you'll see some of these things will not show up in the actual production module, but this is just to give you an idea of how to go about completing your application. So once you're logged in, you want to select from your main menu, Certification Application. You will more than likely not be asked to log in again, but in the event that you are, you just provide your username and your credentials, and it will take you to your certification application location. So on the new system, all of our whole catalog of 8 certifications are listed in one particular page, so that anyone who is interested in our certifications can apply. Now you can see that the sub-collections actually will give you the name of the certification that you're looking for. And I've used this particular sample person to do a few other tutorials. So you'll see certain things that say not eligible to create a new collection. That means that you already have an application open for that particular certification. So if you want to apply for more than one, you will see these types of things, and it will tell you where you are in that particular process. But for this particular examination, we want to go find, let's use EVP. Now, EVP application is going to be exactly the same for PSP and for CEP, which I've used for a different example. So we're just going to use EVP, but certainly you can follow this tutorial to show you exactly how to fill out those other applications should you be wanting to be a CEP or a PSP. So you want to create a new collection, which will immediately put you into the application process. You will notice that your status is pending. That simply means that as long as you are in the pending state, you are still gathering information to build your application. But once you select it, you are in the application process. Doesn't mean that you have to do anything with it. You can change your mind, and we will stay in contact with you to find out after a certain period of time, do you still wish to maintain this application? For every page that you, for the navigation on the side, this tells you what page you're on. The instructions basically will just give you the information that you will need to prepare to adequately fill out your application. The very first thing you want to do is read all of this information so that you can see if you meet the eligibility requirements and all of the information you will need to gather in order to complete the required fields in the application, such as your experience and your education. It also will explain what to expect once you submit your application and your payment when we review it, and how long you should expect to wait to receive exam clearance. When you're ready to proceed, all you need to do is to click Next. So the next item in the navigation is industry-related experience or employment. Once again, it's very important to read all of the documentation that you see prior to adding anything. This will give you really good tips on what you can and cannot do. When you're ready, select the Add button. Then you're going to provide your experience. These are required fields, and you will need to provide data for each one of them. So for employment, you're simply going to put your employment dates. I'm only going to put one, but if you have multiple employment dates that will help you get to the minimum of 8 years of experience, you can simply add them one at a time by adding it, saving it, and clicking add again until you have all your employers or your experience accounted for. If you are presently employed, you cannot leave the end date blank. So if you're presently employed, you want to put the day that you're filling out the application so that you will get the maximum points allowed for your employment. So for this particular date range, when we're done with adding this particular entry, we should get about 16.9 years of experience. You want to add your employer name, and you will need to provide documentation of verification of your employment. And these little tips down here will give you an idea of what you should be using. I'm using a very generic sample. Once you're done, you select Save. And as I said, you will see that the 16.9 requested points is representing the years of experience that I put in from 1/1/2000 to 11/23/2016. You will notice that there are no approved points. That means because you are in a pending status, your application has not been submitted, so therefore nothing is approved. This is just what you're telling us. Once you submit it and we review it, this could change to the 16.9 points have been approved. And if there were a problem, then it might only say we only accept maybe 10 years of that. It's just to give you an idea of where you stand. If you need to add more information and you forget what you actually added previously, you want to select the pencil button, which is an edit button. So if you select it, it will actually allow you to see what you've already accounted for. We're going to move to industry-related education. Once again, please make sure that you read the instructions or any documentation prior to adding anything. So we're going to click Add, and you have the ability to select your type of education, whether it's a 2-year degree all the way up to a postgraduate degree. So for this purpose, we're just going to do a 4-year degree. You want to add your graduation date, your degree specifics, the college or university that you attended, and you will need to provide a copy of your diploma or your transcript. Please note that all verification documentation must be in English or have an English translation attached. So you may want to, if you have more than one piece of documentation, you may want to compile those all into one PDF or one document when uploading, or you'll need to add multiple entries to account for all uploads. Once you've provided all the information, you will click Save. Once again, you will see the 4 points for the 4-year degree have been requested. It is allowed, but we will not be able to approve it until once it's submitted and we review it. The next item is the canons of ethics. So you will need to adhere to these canons of ethics. If you are not familiar with the canons of ethics, or you just need to refresh yourself, there is a link. It says click here to review them. So if you click it, it will take you to our website. You actually can download a copy of it to refer back to, but you will need to select the box and save. Once you do that, it will actually move you to your profile information to make sure that it's correct. This is important, especially if you are going to pay with a credit card, because if you don't have an address on file and it doesn't match your credit card, there could be a delay in that issue. So this is giving you the opportunity to edit your profile if you need to, but if this information is correct, you simply just move to the status and review. The status and review page basically will remind you about our non-discrimination policy. It also will give you the opportunity to understand that we do have a special accommodations policy should you have any medical condition or any accommodations that need to be made at a criterion testing center. So please make sure you read that and follow through with making those the requests for the accommodations prior to being cleared for the exam so that there aren't any delays. Also, the terms and conditions of your application. The summary will provide your status. Well, luckily for this one, there are 3 green check marks, which means that most of all of these areas have been satisfactorily provided information. Doesn't mean you're cleared to sit for the exam. It just means you're now eligible, that you've provided enough information that you are now eligible to submit your application. So we want to select, if let me backtrack just for 1 second. If you were to get on this page and you were to have a red X in the status area, it would not allow you. This wouldn't even show up. It would not allow you to progress with the application. You would need to go back to the area and you would need to provide the information until the system would give you a green check mark. The messages will tell you what you actually need to do. So for this, we're good to go. So we're going to submit checkout. Now at this area, you have two options. You can pay by credit card, or you can pay by check or wire transfer. It is important to know that whatever you select, you're committed to it. So if you accidentally click pay by check, you are bound to that particular area. If you do that by mistake, just call the AACE office, certification staff, and we can change that on the back end for you. But it's important to know that the system will automatically commit you to that particular option. So it's important to understand that unless you really intend to pay by check because you don't have access to a credit card, or a wire transfer because you're in a particular region where credit cards are not accepted, you can select that. But for this purposes, we're going to go with pay by credit card. So you're going to provide your credit card information. And this is just a sample, so you won't really be able to use this. Make sure your address is in there. You actually can save this credit card information into your account so that you don't have to redo this anymore, but that's up to you. It's not required. And you click Next. After clicking Next, you will receive your receipt and you actually can print it. Notice that it changed your status review to staff review. That means that your application has been submitted and certification staff are now in the process of reviewing it. So there is nothing more that you need to do at this point. If there were going to be problems with your application, such as maybe you forgot an English translation of your diploma, or maybe you accidentally sent a picture of your dog instead of your diploma, you will get an email and an opportunity to correct everything. And it's what's called we put you in an additional information needed status. If you're interested to learn about what you do in those circumstances, you may want to check out our Need More Information tutorial. But at this point, there's nothing more that you need to do but to sit back and relax and wait to hear back from AACE certification staff regarding the status of your application. If you have any questions, please email us at certification@aacei.org or give us a call at 304-296-8444 extension 1110. Thank you.